My name is Tiona, and I've been to hell and back. My family life, you would never believe. I had a mother, I had a father who both raised me. I got all the birthday parties. They both loved me. They didn't beat me. I got the normal whoopings any child would have. And we lived in nice areas. We didn't live in the ghetto. Life was great as a child. Like, I have no complaints as all my memories go. But I had always had a problem that I wanted to go down the street. Like, I wanted to go down the hill. I wanted to go hang out with everybody that was hanging on the corners and do what they were doing. I didn't want to stay at home and be a normal kid. I think I was drawn to that because I hadn't experienced it. So it looked cool to me. And I wanted to be down, and I thought that was the way to be down. And I thought those kids were cool who were hanging out like that. I thought that was the life, not the life that I was living. I think a big part of it is when my mother switched me into school. I was at one school, and my mother, we had to move in a different neighborhood. So I had to go to school in that neighborhood. And my mother let me pick the elementary school I went to. So therefore we moved to East Oakland, and so all the kids that were going to that school were from the lower bottoms, and I wanted to be just like them. They were making fun of me because they said I talk too white. So I wanted to talk like they talk with, slang, and I wanted to go do what they're doing. Their parents didn't care what they did, so I wanted to run away from home so I can go do what they're doing, because my mother's too strict and she's looking after everything I was doing. So, I think that was the thing of why I rebelled so much. Honestly, I would say, like, by the time I was in the 6th grade, I was already, sneaking out the window. My mom had no idea because we lived downstairs. Well, the living room was upstairs and the bedroom was downstairs, which made my bedroom window close to the ground where I can hop out of the window and go and then climb back up into the window, take my screen off my window, hop out, go down the hill, and have the guys meet me at a gas station. And I would sneak on the phone, do it all, and my mom would be asleep over in her next bedroom with no idea, and I would sneak back in, and it was just crazy. But yeah, elementary, it had already started. One of my friends who I was at her house a lot, and her mother would be closed up in her room. I don't know what she was doing, if she was even there. She had an older cousin, and of course they were doing older folk things. So, we thought we was just as grown as them. So we wanted to drink with them, try a little weed, start smoking cigarettes, and we thought we were so cool. And I just thought I was super cool. So, that was a scene. Oh, and boys, forget it. That's all we thought about. We like, and these are like some at that time older guys, and we're going out with them doing things we shouldn't even be thinking about doing. We're doing and thinking it's all cool because they giving us a bottle of drink. Then that we can have sex with them because they gave us some drink. We had no like morals or caring about ourselves, anything. Felt no guilt whatsoever. I thought it was fun. And even to the point where then I got a disease, which I was telling my mother the whole time, oh, Mom, I'm a virgin. I'm going to save myself, bald-faced lying. I had, at that age, I guess I didn't have a conscience really. I just wanted my mom to think one way of me, even though I knew I was another way. And I wanted my friends, so it was like I was trying to please both sides. Like, okay, I want my mom to think about me this way, and I want my friends to look at me this way. But I was doing all the things that how I wanted my friends to see me, and my mom was just thinking I was doing the things how she saw me. until when I got that first disease, and I had it so long that I ended up having a PID, a pelvic inflammatory disease. I had to be hospitalized for. And my mom was just so embarrassed that she told my family that I was dehydrated or something like that. That's why they had to hospitalize me, because there's no way she wanted to tell anybody that her child, her little girl, had a disease because she's already having sex. I was about 12, 13. I was scared of what she was going to say, and was I going to be in trouble. That was my thing. It wasn't even about the rest of it. I was just worried about, oh, am I going to be in trouble? Am I going to get a whooping? Am I going to get a punishment? And still it's like, okay, am I going to still be able to sneak out? Is she going to figure out that I've been sneaking out and that's how I got the disease? Those were my worries. I just left. I would be gone for weeks, months. I would be gone. I wouldn't have any idea where I was at. Because if she didn't allow me to do it, then I'm gone. And I had friends who I can stay with because their mothers didn't care what they did or who was in the house. So I would just leave. So I would take bottles of her alcohol that she kept underneath the sink, and it was the clear alcohol. So I would take some of that, put it in one of those water bottle containers. At the time, Arco used to have these big water containers, and I would pour the alcohol in there, and then I would pour water back into her bottle so she wouldn't be able to tell. Now I was scared because it looked all swirly inside when I put the water in, but it didn't stop me. And when I brought it to school, we got so drunk, and the one kid got so drunk, and I put it in my locker, and we got caught, and I got kicked out of school, out of that school. And then my mom tried to put me in another school, and then I never went to school. So my mom tried. It was too late. I already had it made up. I was grown and I knew what I wanted to do. Then she tried once again by putting me into a school in Hayward. I went to Hayward High. I didn't show up. And then a lot of people were putting their kids into school in Hayward that were from Oakland. So that didn't change anything. So lo and behold, I go to high school, and first I meet a guy. I knew he had a girlfriend at the time, but he was was just so into me, like no guy had ever been before. And I was like, oh, he really into me. Like, oh, he made me feel like I was just the most beautiful girl in the world, when I still had a problem with my red hair and freckles. So eventually he ended up giving me another disease, which I had once again, PID, pelvic inflammatory disease, and for the second time. And I'll go more into that later with the results of me having both of those happening to me today. But then I started selling weed with him because I was running away from home, staying with him and his mom, and I got caught my first felony. So, and I got kicked out of adult school because I was already in continuation school. They had put me out of high school at 16. So therefore I couldn't graduate from high school, and I couldn't, stay at both. I had to be expelled from one. They told me to choose. So I chose the adult school that I would, be expelled from there. So I did not graduate from high school, and also got a felony for having weed on the school campus. So that was the beginning to the end of everything I thought I was going to do. He would come to, we lived in Hayward, and once again, me and the window, I had a window that was in the backyard. He would come through the side fence, hop in the window through there, and we was having sex, and I would hop out the window, doing all the type of things. My mom is steady working hard, being a laborer, working on the shipyards, and I'm doing everything under the sun. My mom even came home one time to me and a whole bunch of boys all in the house, having sex in her bed. It was crazy. And so I just did a lot. But what happened was, when my mom moved to San Leandro, he would come over here and get me. And I was like, yeah, I want to go, because I want to get out the house, I want to do stuff. And so my mom, when she moved here, also a cousin of mine moved downstairs, and so he comes over and he's like, well, try this. It's a little bottle with some brown stuff in it. So he like, you just snort down your nose. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm down for it. It's heroin.